Hey guys, welcome back to A Bit Tactical. Today, I'm going to be doing some general strategies to help with our 25% win rate that just came out. And we're going to start with this map right here. Okay, this is from Mountainside Tabletop, their first game with the Accolons and the Vespids. So I'm just going to tell you how I would play this map with the Kasrkin against Horde and Space Marines. The strategy will be slightly different, but generally the same. And it's going to focus around closing off a part of the map and focus firing on the other half. Specifically so that you can get objectives and you can win a game like that. We're going to start by closing off this bottom portion of the map. Now, how you do it is up to your personal taste, but me personally, what I would do is I would use the razor wire on this terrain, making it so that it's much more difficult for your enemy to cross it. And I would use the Demo Trooper's Mine to block off this narrow passage. Even though it's only a 1-inch diameter, most bases are not going to be able to go through this because it's based on proximity, and that's based off your enemy player's base. They will have to go through this area right here, and they're most likely, unless there's like some really small base that I'm not aware of, they're not going to be able to go through here without setting off the mine. That, of course, is only on the right side of the map if that's your spawn point. If your spawn point is on the left, then you're going to use this top left corner over here. Place a barricade here, just one, you just need one, and place your mine here again. Just because it's that 1 inch, there's still no way that they're going to be able to pass it, or it's going to be very hard for them to pass it unless they scamper over this terrain. Now, if you want to secure it more, use more items, but do remember that you cannot put universal equipment like more than 2 inches or within 2 inches of each other. So just be aware of that. You can't stack too much equipment on one side, but you can effectively lock it down. Not only that, on the left side corner here, you also have this like very nice vantage area. So this is a very easily defensible area, and that's, if you're on the left side, that's what you should do. You should defend this top area. The general strategy here is to defend one area with 1 or 2 operatives, I would say 2, and then with your other operatives, secure the other 2 objectives. Get kills if you can. Against a Horde team, you're going to mainly focus on objectives, you're going to mainly focus on killing them. But also score the objectives. Do both at the same time. What happens generally with kill team is that people will spread their team out along. They'll usually have a game plan, right? But they'll spread their team along so that one side of the area is not completely messed up. They might not do that, but that's generally what happens. So if that is the case, take advantage of that. If they stack their team on one side, the side that you're defending, that's fine. That's great. You go after, for example, right here. If they stack their team all the way on the bottom over here and they're going and rushing through this way, that's great. You rush the top objective. You make sure you're on the second objective. You now have a defensible position that you can attack from, right? You have that defense there in that terrain, which is going to really severely limit their movement. You're going to have, 1 or 2 defensive guys. I suggest using the grenade launcher and a regular trooper. I think that should be enough to get them down there, or a sergeant if you really want to ensure it, though using a sergeant as a defensive model is really good. So I would just use a regular trooper and a grenade launcher. The rest of the team should be up here securing these objectives and getting in there. Again, being aggressive, but securing the objectives. Trade as often as you can, but focus down on the objectives, and the kills will come that way. When you're going with Kasrkin, it really is going to be a points game now. Against a Horde team, your primary op should probably be the kill op. Trying to kill them as much as you can to get the as many points as you can. But again, going after the objectives as well should be a top priority. Going after your attack op should also be a top priority. You really have to get into the spirit of the Kasrkin, which are shock troopers, right, in the lore and all that stuff. And I know it's like, oh, it's a game, it's not really connected to the lore, but it kind of is. This is a guard kill team. Use it as a guard kill team. Go after the objective, die on the objective. That's really your chance here. You have a lot of killing potential. You have 4 gunners. Even your bog standard trooper has a weapon that hits on 3, 4 attacks, 3, 4 damage. There's so much stacking potential with severe, with foregrip, with all of these things that give you special weapon rules that allow you to guarantee damage almost. So you have a lot of killing potential. You have to get in there and you have to fight for the objective. This is even more applicable to a elite team. Your primary op will not be kill. It'll be your tac op or it'll be the objective. I think you should probably go into the tac op and we'll talk about those in a little bit. But against the Space Marine team, especially, okay, you are going to go rush onto these objectives and you're going to hold there, okay, as much as you can. The truth is that elites are in a position where they can just do a lot of damage and they can take a lot of damage, as they should, because they're, Space Marines. However, you do have more models. You have to withstand them. You have to take the kills when you can. Your Melta-Gunner has now become like an essential part of the team. That AP2 is just super nice. Use it to... Losing your Melta-Gunner without getting shot is now like super detrimental. So use your Melta-Gunner. Try to take a piece off the board automatically if you can. When it comes to Space Marines or elite teams in general, your main objective is going to be getting onto the objective and just keeping it and just staying on it and fighting for it and making them trade models, making them get into bad positions and then taking advantage of that as much as you can. Turning point 2 and turning point 3 are going to be essential for Kasrkin. You have to be aggressive with this at all times. You seize the initiative at the end of turning point 1 so you can, not guarantee, but, improve your odds of having initiative in turning point 2 because it's now essential for you. Now, for the tac ops, these are personally the 2 options that I think you have, which, they're kind of like, funny enough, they're like the opposite of one, right? Contain is, you either have to keep them away 6 inches away from your drop zone, so long as it's after the first turning point, or wholly without of your territory, which is to say they are not on your side of the board at all. If you achieve either one of those at the end of the first or at the end of a turning point after the first, you get a VP point. Now, that's what I would take if I was going up against an elite team, right? Keeping them outside of that 6-inch range is really easy. In fact, I think you could almost guarantee that. Keeping them out of your territory will be harder, but again, if you're keeping it up in front of their face and you're fighting them for it, I think it's achievable. At the very least, the 6-inch one, which again, every single point you're going to score is going to really, really matter to you. So that's what I would do against Space Marines. If I was going against Horde, I would do the overrun, which is essentially the opposite, right? Or a little bit, right? So you will score a VP if you kill somebody out inside of their territory, right? So if you're within their territory and you kill somebody, you get a VP point if you're still alive at the end of the turning point. At the end of the turning point, if you are wholly within the opponent's territory and the amount of people who satisfied the first condition of this tac op, if their total APL is 3 or more, then you score another VP. So if you're a Space Marine, you automatically score this, right? just for being alive. But for Kasrkin models, you're going to have 2 models that accomplish the first objective point and are alive at the end of the turning point. So to me, the best one is contain, because you can control that. So you just, you keep them, you get in their face and you just keep them on their side of the board forever. And that should be what you try to do. And hopefully they don't understand that's what you're doing, but that's what you should try to do. If not, Overrun would be my second choice. The others are just too hard to get. I think with this team specifically, if there's another team that could probably do it better, probably, but the others I don't like to do with Kasrkin. Okay, guys, that's really it for this video. Just as a recap, close off a section of the map using your universal equipment, razor wire. You could maybe even use mines, especially against a horde team, the barricades, the portable cover, all that stuff. Use it to block people from a part of the map. Make it really hard to traverse that terrain or inaccessible to them. Whichever one, it's going to be beneficial to you, so you can defend that position with 2 operatives. My personal pick is a grenade launcher and a normal trooper to do that. Everybody else is capturing the point. Focus on objectives and die on objectives. You're a guard kill team, play as a guard kill team. Get in there, get the objective, kill someone if you can, then die on it. That's really what you should be doing with this team. I always thought you should be super aggressive. Now this is just kind of an extension of that. Get onto the second point, die on the second point. All right, guys. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And I'll see you with the next video. It should just be a continuation. Actually, no. The next video is going to be team comp. And then we'll continue on with all the operatives. All right, guys. I'll see you later.